Good morning. Recently I posted a video, The Church of Satan and My Resignation, and I've looked through some of the comments and posts on it and realized that either I failed to address certain issues or for whatever reason people misunderstood where I was coming from. So I'm going to try to make this as quick as possible, but honestly I'm kind of like a stripper high on cocaine. I mean, I could be here for fucking 5 minutes on your junk, or could be here for 5 hours, or as long as YouTube will allow it. So anyway, basically, I got no animosity against Peter Gilmore or Church of Satan for that matter. I mean, obviously I've been a member of the CFS since 94, so that's pushing 11 years now, 16 years, almost 16, almost 17 years. I mean, what can I say? I got nothing against these guys, right? I mean, they're all a bunch of solid individuals. I mean, if Gilmore was not a up and up person and was a fool or an asshole or an ass clown of some sort, I doubt he would have been Anton LaVey's left-hand man for so many years. So that in itself is enough for me to at least be indifferent towards Gilmore. With Gilmore specifically, I have an issue, and this kind of goes across the Church of Satan, since I'm assuming that Gilmore is the high priest of the Church of Satan, and so my opinion here reflects onto the Church of Satan nowadays as Gilmore. Basically, in the last 10 years, they haven't done shit. There was a book that was released, I don't know, 10 years ago, close to that. There's a couple, brief documentaries on Discovery Channel and the History Channel, which is all cool, but other than that, I don't see any forward momentum being made. I don't see any progress being made. And I gotta ask why, and why? I mean, fuck, in comparison, myself being on YouTube for the last 1.5 years, right? And having this channel taken down, I already have lost 500 to 1,000 subscribers every time it gets fucking taken down. My channel nowadays still has 3 times about the amount of subscribers and video views that the Church of Satan's YouTube channel has, which is called the Satanic News Network. And I'm not saying that's actually officially their channel, but for all intents and purposes it is, because, you'll see. Go there and you'll see. Satanic News Network. That's pretty much Gilmore's channel, whether it's actually his or somebody pretending to be him. That's pretty much the only presence on YouTube that they have. And, there's no reason why I should have double, triple the amount of attention that they do. Because the Church of Satan is the fucking OGs of Satanism, right? They have the fucking... They have a whole apple in their hand, and they fucking dropped it. They dropped it because they considered it below them, because, to Gilmore's credit, he walked into some big shoes, and we're not talking like big shoes. We're talking like Shaquille O'Neal size 29 shoes, right? We're talking huge shoes to, walk in behind LaVey, when LaVey had a fucking truckload of haters circling him like fucking buzzards, waiting for him to die, to fucking jump on and smear and defame the man. And then on top of that, this is probably the most important part, is the internet. Even LaVey said, and I can't, quote him directly, but something to the effect of, in his last book, Satan Speaks, he said, the internet's going to change everything, especially Satanism. And you know what? He's absolutely right, and he knew it. He saw it. Because when the internet came along, unfortunate for Mr. Gilmore and the Church of Satan and a lot of other satanic organizations, now, you can't just pretend to be, the shit, now you have competition. Now it's not like, you can be the middleman and distribute information and knowledge and, kind of network people, now we don't need that anymore. People don't need that. You can get on YouTube. I was part of the Church of Satan for 16 years, solid 16 years, and I've met. I was given 5 to 6 names, but I've actually met 3 people, and I've gotten about 5 to 6 phone numbers, and out of those phone numbers, like 2 of them actually were active and worked and weren't disconnected. And that was my involvement with the Church of Satan. And here on YouTube, I've met several hundreds of Satanists. So within a short amount of time, I'm not talking 16 years, I'm talking 6 months, 3 months, I've met several hundred of Satanists. So there's no need to be a part of the organization. Now, you have really got to ask yourself, what's your intention of involving yourself with an organization like the Church of Satan? My intention was, back in '94, was to meet other like-minded individuals. And granted, this was before the internet, so you got to keep that in mind. This is a very different time. The internet changed the way people communicate and network across the board. I mean, it was fucking revolutionary, and I'm glad to be a part of this. But before the internet, yeah, if you want to meet other Satanists, well, you had to find a satanic organization. Did you find that online? Hell no, because there was no online. You went to the bookstore, you read some books, you got an address, and you were fucking ecstatic because you had a mailing address. You sent in your shit, they sent you some shit, and this is all through snail mail, so it took weeks and weeks, it wasn't instantaneous like now. Anyway, that was my intention, was to meet other Satanists, and, well, obviously that's not the way to go anymore. If you want to meet other Satanists, get on YouTube. Join Satanic International Network, whatever. Or a handful of other organizations. I mean, that are online. Right now, that's the future of Satanism. It's without dissing anybody, or not including, or well, where I'm going. I mean, it's basically it's not the future of Satanism. It's the future, period. It's the future of everything. It's online. It's the ability to interact in a network, instantaneous, from any part of the world, regardless of where you live, what country you're from, your ethnicity, or whatever. I mean, it doesn't matter anymore, right? I mean, if you can get online, you have the ability to cross network with hundreds, if not thousands, of other Satanists, instantaneous, right away. So that's where it's at, and it sucks Gilmore and company didn't think that was important or take that seriously, but it is. And well, their attitude now is the only attitude they really can have, right? It's a position of it's a defensiveness attitude. It's a defensive attitude. Their attitude is basically, well, if you're not a member of the Church of Satan, you're not a Satanist. And if online other organizations are just that, online other organizations, well, you know what? What is the Church of Satan? Church of Satan is an online organization. They don't do shit in the community. They dismantle the Grotto system. They're an online organization just as much as mine is. Satanic International Network, right? I mean, that's really what they are. And Boyd Rice, LaVey's first pick to be high priest of the Church of Satan, who turned it down apparently, that's his attitude about the Church of Satan and Gilmore and Company, is that they're an online organization now, a bunch of pencil pushers that are collecting back and taking what revenue that they get from new members. But that's it. That's where the Church of Satan is. That's what they are. That's where they stop. And I was disappointed to hear that by Rice. And I've been a big fan of Rice, but I've also heard similar stories and similar opinions from other people that I've met through Satanic International Network that have been friends with Anton LaVey personally. I don't know if he wants me to mention his name, so I'll just call him DR. Dark R. For now, he's being somebody who knew Anton LaVey personally for several years, and if his opinion's that as well, it kind of tells you what's really going on. And well, long story short, because I'm starting to ramble and talk in circles, go figure. It's it's that time of night where I do this. I'll just leave it at that. Yeah, I mean, if you want to join the Church of Satan because you're looking to meet other Satanists or to network, and you want to throw your 2 cents in with Anton LaVey, don't. Save your money. Save your money. Because you're not going to do either. Anton LaVey's dead, for one. 2, the Church of Satan is no longer the organization that LaVey intended it to be. So, if that's your reason to join the Church of Satan, save your money. Now, if you want a cool red card, and to their credit, it's a nice, it's on card paper. It has a silver medallion that's kind of embedded. I mean, it's a good looking membership card, right? If you want that membership card and you want to possibly have the ability to possibly move up the ranks in the Church of Satan, if they actually talk to you, which they generally don't to most people, but yay, if they do and you're something special, You might get a name of Magister or Reverend or something fancy, you know, who knows, could be fucking Mr. Joe Schmo Reverend Fancy Pants, right? If that's your goal, if that's your intention, do it, because, you know, well, if you're going to get that title, you're going to have to be a member of the Church of Satan. So, you know, it depends on what your motive is. For most of us now, at least myself personally, you know, and save your money, you know. I support the Church of Satan. They've never done anything with the exception of taking on an elitist attitude that you're not a Satanist unless you're part of this organization. Anything other than that, I've never seen anything they've done that offends me, that I'm you know, righteously against. So, but yeah, that's pretty much it. You know, as somebody asked what happened to my red card, I lost my red card a long time ago, almost, I don't know, I'd say 6-7 years ago maybe, in a fire. I used it as a bookmarker when I collected books. I had several hundred books, mainly most of them from the bibliography of the Satanic Witch, you know, recommended reading occult material that were reference books from LaVey, from the Satanic Witch. I used that card as a bookmark, and well, those books went up in a fire. So the red card. So yeah, I don't have anything to really turn in, and but by no means, you know, my you know, to wrap this up, what is it now? 11 minutes, 11 and a half minutes. Yeah, this is way too long. I mean, I'm assuming most of you are like, you know, I've already stopped watching this video. I'm kind of like a stripper on cocaine, man. I could be on your lap for like 30 seconds or like all day, you know, depending on the circumstances. But anyway, I don't even know where that fucking came from. Anyway, yeah, my reason for resigning is personal. I want to do my own thing, and one thing that I didn't share is that I signed something becoming a member of the Church of Satan. Again, I can't quote this, I don't have it right in front of my face, but I remember some of the pertinent stuff, and one of them was, if I ever decided to go on my own and do my own thing, well, then I either needed to give the Church of Satan credit, being a member, or I needed to resign. I needed to separate myself from that organization. So, now that I am doing my own thing, Satanic International Network, which, you know, I'll go into this in more detail in a video here coming up, but I consider to be, and I predict will be, the dominant satanic organization in the next 10 years. It may take 10 years, alright? I'm not going to say when, but that's my goal, and that's what I'm pushing for. I need to disassociate myself with any other organization. Even if I support them wholeheartedly, I can't be attached to another organization and intend for this one to be the predominant and featured, you know, organization around, unless I do so. So obviously people can understand that. I'll go into more detail about that in a future video. But yeah, good luck, CFS. You know, if you guys have an interest in the CFS, by no means don't let my personal decision influence you. Check it out for yourself. Just ask yourself why you want to join and what you want to get out of it. And if it's anything like what I intended, save your money, because you'll be disappointed.